Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's going on, Gainesville? I have a special treat for you guys today. We have none other than Mayoral candidate, Mr. Marlon Bruce in the building, man. How you doing?
Hello, everyone. How's it going?
I just want to say thanks for coming by first.
Thank you.
All, man. All right, so Mr. Bruce, I just want to start from the beginning, man, the very beginning. Little old Bruce back in the day. I think I read somewhere you grew up in Brooklyn.
I did indeed. Yep.
Wow. And let's start from the beginning, man. I guess, can you just kind of give us a quick background of yourself and your upbringing and just whatever you want to talk about?
Sure. So I was born in Brooklyn. My dad was a businessman. My mom is a nurse.
Okay.
I am one of 6 boys.
Wow.
Yep. My mom and dad both had two sons prior to getting married. They got married. They had 2 more sons.
Wow.
I'm actually one of 6. Huge family, trust me. And that's not even counting all my aunts and cousins. I'm telling you, it's a huge family.
That's real. 6 boys.
Yep.
I come from a family. It's 3 of us, 3 boys, and whenever that's eye raising. You know what I mean? That's eyebrow raising. So 6, wow, that's like double.
So, I grew up fighting, let me tell you. You fight for everything.
I know. Well, I spent more of my time getting beat up. But
same
I was the
here.
youngest brother, so.
Same here. I was the second to last.
All right, well, I read somewhere you were involved in a lot of different organizations, Boy Scouts, FFA,
yep.
RCC. Can you kind of talk about how those, just being in that kind of brain, those organizations, even growing up with 5 male siblings, can you talk about how that plays into your decision to run or just being a leader or a public servant?
Sure. So actually, I moved to Florida when I was 11 when my dad died. So I joined those groups primarily out of boredom.
Okay.
I just needed something to do.
Yes,
but once I joined them, groups like FFA, like Boy Scouts, like ROTC, the community is your foundation. That's where everything is built on. I mean, you have to be loyal to yourself, but you also you have to be loyal to those all around you, and that's where like my love of public service kind of like grew, where it molded itself to where I am now. Just that constant need to watch out for your fellow man. Make sure everyone has the same shakedown.
That's like the epitome of a public servant right there, man. Well, graduated from, I guess you guys moved to Ocala?
Yep.
Okay.
Ocala.
From Westport, that's a new high school, right?
So Westport was it was first Westport school. It was high school and middle school. Prior to me getting there, it became just one massive high school, one of the largest high schools in the entire state.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So, I graduated magna cum laude,
nice.
Which actually shocked me too, let me tell you.
Well, good to have smart people in office, that's for sure.
Right? There we go.
All right, so let's move on. You took your talents to Santa Fe College.
I did indeed, yeah.
And there you are a political science major, which I'm sure that plays a big part here. In your current bid for mayor, as well as you've already been in student government there.
Correct, yes.
So, capacities.
Yep. So I joined, so I came to Santa Fe as a bridge to get to UF, because UF is expensive, let me tell you.
Oh, yes.
But once I got to Santa Fe, it kind of like, it sunk down that Santa Fe was actually just one of those like schools where you want to stay. It is the #1 college in the entire state. So I mean, I'm telling you, it's a great school. The faculty is great. I joined student government again out of that desire to serve, that passion to help people. Yes, so and I actually joined on my first day. I was in Model UN and they asked for a senator.
Wow.
It was my first day. I was the only freshman in the whole class, and I was like, you know what? Why not? Let me get up there. And everyone said yes. I was shocked, but yeah.
Wow.
Got up there, and I joined Senate. And in Senate, my whole thing, even now, is fiscal responsibility. I mean, you have the money, fine, but where is the money going? How's the money helping people? Because, believe it or not, money makes the world go round, I mean, you don't got money, you don't got a chance. So, I mean, it's okay.
Okay, well, it sounds like the capacity that you said you were a senator there as well as the attorney general.
Yes, so
nice.
I ran for president. I came in second. to my roommate, actually, Alejandro
Oh,
Fuga. Yeah.
wow. I
Roommate.
had no idea.
Yep, I ran against my best friend. But, we kept it good. When I was done, he asked me to serve in his cabinet as the Attorney General, and I said, yeah.
Oh, man. So cool. So can you tell me how serving in those capacities will help you if you're elected mayor?
Sure. So again, as the senator and as the attorney general, the primary focus is to uphold the rule of law, to make sure that everyone is doing what the law says that they have to be doing, and that's my whole thing. Has a political science major, has a member of student government, has anything, is making sure that what's supposed to be done is getting done. It's life. It's actually my life philosophy. Whatever has to be done, it has to get done. And through those roles, I've only grown in that philosophy. So I definitely think that I can carry it from Santa Fe to City Hall,
nice.
and making sure that everyone's getting the fair shake, everyone's money is being spent right, and everyone is getting their jobs done.
Cool. Now I also see that you serve, actually work as a leasing agent.
I do full time. Let me tell you.
And we're gonna definitely get into that because I had some questions about that later on about how that will play and how that shaped your views on things. But I just wanted to mention that because I really wanted to show the different hats that you wear. You do a lot of different things, man. Well, let's kind of go to your earliest interest in politics. Like, how'd you get into it? Were you into this as a kid? Yeah.
So. At 6 years old, everyone's is watching Yu-Gi-Oh. They're watching Kids Next Door, and I was watching that too. But I was also watching CNN, MSNBC, wow. Fox News. I was watching things because growing up, I grew up in a very political household. My mom, she watched the news every day. She wasn't George Bush's biggest fan. But although I kind of was towards the end. It's kind of weird, I grew up
interesting dinner table
conversations, right? Oh, so every night was a different talk about a different policy, about a different thing, So
wow.
So I grew up centered around that. I knew I wanted to run for office one day when I saw George Bush walking down the steps of Air Force One. I was like, you know what? One day
I want to do that.
I want to do that too. But I didn't want to do it because it looked cool. Like I wanted to actually help people too. So. I asked my mom, when was the first time she ever heard me talk about running for office or anything, and she said that she doesn't remember, but she knows that I would always give homeless people money growing up. That this one time I saw this guy sitting outside of the gas station.
Mm-hmm.
I went inside. I bought him a burger, some water, some candy bars. Came out a $20 bill. She
public service, people. That's what that is.
She wasn't too happy that I wasted all. Well, I spent all that money, but it's something that I do quite often.
That's what's up, man. I just want to take a second out to send a shout out to your parents, man, for just create that environment,
right?
For a child. it was your decision to take it and run with it, but they provided it, man. So I really want to give them that props.
Of course,
man. That's pretty awesome.
Growing up, it was God, family, and country.
Nice.
So you know what? It was a great thing being raised in.
Well, you talked about George Bush,
mm-hmm.
And seeing him. I was going to ask you about your influential political figures. Anybody that you look up to, or anybody that you really.
I look up to a whole bunch of people. Actually, if I'm being honest, because a part of being a American, the part of being a active citizen is learning how everything came to be.
Absolutely.
That's one of the biggest things, because you can't know where you're going unless you understand where you came from. So on that regards, I look up to a number of political figures. People like Thomas Jefferson, George Washington. Now modern day people, we're gonna look more towards Martin Luther King, Abraham Lincoln.
Wow.
JFK is a huge part of mine. Also,
right.
And many people might not know this, but LBJ, Lyndon Baines Johnson, was is like a huge figure when I think of what I want to be. Someone who gets things done despite every odd, despite all the opposition.
Well, him and MLK, they were very constant dialogue.
They were, yep.
And they accomplished the civil rights.
You're right.
So That's a big thing, man. That's pretty awesome, man. All right, so we're gonna move on to some fun questions. We're a hip hop station.
Okay,
here,
not bad.
We got the hip hop. We got a 1,000 kids out there at UF campus listening to this right now, as well as the east side of town, man. And just some interesting, just some quick questions, man. You got any favorite hip hop artists? Any favorite hip hop songs from back in the day you grew up on?
Ooh, back in the day, Homecoming by Kanye, Power by Kanye. Those songs I used to listen to like religiously.
Nice.
Nowadays,
nice.
What's that one song by Cardi B? Please Me. That's a good song, right?
With Bruno Mars.
Yep.
We'll play that.
And also, it's not really hip hop, and I'm not really like crazy on them, but that new Jonas Brothers song.
Really?
Sucker. It's a good song.
Good. Well, I just saw that online the other day, and I was excited to see that they're still recording together, man, because it seemed like Nick was just Beyonce. You know?
Oh yeah, Nick left and Nick flew. Nick just like
cool, man. Cool. All right, man. So let's move on, man. Okay, I want to move on to the first issue on your platform that I read on your site. Affordable housing. Now, I mentioned that you were a leasing agent, right?
Yep.
All right. I want to start there. Now, how have you being a leasing agent? How has that shaped or affected you in regards to affordable housing?
So, I always knew that there was a affordable housing issue. I just never really understood why. I mean, because everyone says different things. Land is expensive, yada yada, and no one really like gets down to the meat of it. Since I became a leasing specialist, at the Pavilion on 62nd, I witnessed numerous people get evicted from their apartments.
I bet.
And it's always the same reason, something happens. Everyone is living paycheck to paycheck,
right,
barely making it to the next one, and then something happens. A car crash happens, someone gets sick, or something happens, and they can't pay rent. And there is only so much leeway that we are able to give them before we say, okay, it's a business too. So really, I'm realizing that affordable housing leads to the big question of living in Gainesville.
Right.
Is living in Gainesville affordable? And the answer is no. Gainesville is actually one of the most expensive cities in the state of Florida to live in. It's outrageous.
You're telling me.
Right? So affordable housing, we have to ask, who is it affordable for? People like the GRU general manager who is making $300,000 a year, I guarantee you he has no problem paying his bills. But people like you and me, people like, everyone walking down the street,
right,
housing isn't worth it. Housing isn't affordable because they are too busy paying their extremely high light bills. They are too busy paying their grocery bills. They're too busy paying these high rent prices. Yeah. So the issue with housing is that the city isn't affordable to begin with.
Well, just to quote Miss Inquan the job, man, what exactly is it for? Affordable. Affordable is not affordable. So I mean, I agree with you totally there, man. I want to talk a little bit about what you kind of mentioned just now, how a lack of paying jobs here affects affordable housing. Correct.
So, Gainesville's main thing is health and education. That is what the economy is currently running on, thanks to Santa Fe and UF. But you know what the issue is? Not everyone has a job in health and in the whole schooling system. That's not what everyone has. Right?
I know.
Right? And the issue is our private sector has a whole bunch of small businesses and a whole bunch of startups, to which I say, great.
Right.
You go out there, you make your dollar. But that's not going to pay people's bread and butter.
Right.
People need actual paying jobs. And if we're able to bring in those high-paid jobs, if we're able to grow our private sector, right, we won't have to raise the minimum wage because the market will do it for us.
Right.
Because as soon as we raise it, we're going to have to raise it again and again and again.
You said it's not fixing the problem.
Yeah, the actual problem is we don't have jobs that are paying our citizens well enough, and without those jobs, we can't afford to live in the city where the cost of living keeps growing every single day.
Cool. Well, do you have any specific plans? What's your take on building up the private sector?
So, in terms of building the private sector, we're gonna have to first work with what we have here, and by that I mean the Chamber of Commerce. You know, I have a great relationship with their president and with many members. You know, they're some very nice people. Yeah. But we have to work with the Chamber of Commerce to make Gainesville more business friendly. You know, and I mean large businesses. I mean what will it take to bring Amazon here? You know, because Amazon just turned down New York City, which it's okay, but you know that's good for us,
right?
Because now we have a shot, right?
Yeah.
And Gainesville is a great place. You know, we are very business friendly, but how do we become more business friendly? You know, how do we bring business to Gainesville? And that's where everything starts.
That's what's up, man. I love that. Well, sounds like a plan there, man. Let's move on to public safety. I'm sure I read inside you have particular plans for public safety here in Gainesville. Could you describe the benefits of the Step Up plan that was introduced by the police union?
So you know, and I'm going to give you a quick scenario too. You know, as many of us know, you know, I mean, not everyone in the city is a fan of law enforcement, you know, and with good reason.
Understood.
But think about it. What if the reason why we are so antagonized by them is because they have low morale? What if the issue is these guys want to do their jobs, right? You know, but their boss, the city, isn't giving them what they need, so they are going to do their job as effectively as they should. One of the main things striking the police department is their low morale, stemming from their bad relationship with City Hall. And what that does is the same way a stressed out mom, you know, comes home mad and then she is yelling at her kids, is the same thing that we are seeing now. You know, if we can if we can fix the problem with the police department, then we can tackle the real the social issues coming out of the police department. And the first thing is the Step Up plan. If we actually pay them what they are actually worth, you know, if we can provide them the incentive to perform better with higher pay, you know, as you go on. Gainesville Police Department wasn't always so disliked, you know. I mean, there was a time when people from all over the state, all over the country, came to Gainesville to work for GPD because we had the best force here, you know. They got in touch with the people, you know. They got the pay they deserved. Now that's not the case. Yeah. So with the Step Up plan, by working with them to, you know, increase people staying, you know, the officers who have a good connect with the people, then that's one of the huge benefits, is that we can start working on the problems between the community and the police.
Nice. And I guess, just to paraphrase here, so creating more competitive salary packages and just a overall better environment for our law enforcement will in turn help the community and community relations.
Correct. Yeah. So by building them up, you know, on the inside, they are able to take that goodwill, you know, the good feeling, and transition it into their work. You know, when you ask someone to get up at 5 a.m. to put on a bulletproof vest, and you know, walk out every day for 12, 14 hours, it takes it's told rather quickly. And right now, our police department, they are staffed at their lowest level even possible. So it's a lot of stress and it's a lot of strain. I get it, trust me.
I understand.
So I think by putting in place the Step Up plan, we can work to fixing the morale issue, and work on better bringing the community and the police department together.
I love that. No, that. Shout out to GPD. My mom just retired from there last week.
Nice.
33 long years. So shout out to her for that.
Well, thank you for her service.
Absolutely. All right, moving on to the big, huge elephant in the room.
Oh man,
GRU.
GRU.
Now, first thing I was interested when I read this, when I was reading your take on it, was how you voted in the fall election on the yes no panel. How'd you feel about that?
So, I think what happened was I voted yes on the referendum because I was fed up with GRU. I mean,
I did too.
I moved here in 2017. You know, my first bill for about 12 days from when I moved in at the end of July to the middle of August. There, you know, my first bill was like $125. I was like,
days.
yeah, and I was like, you know, that's kind of interesting. Okay, my next bill, keep in mind, I am in a brand new 2-bedroom apartment. It was built 2016.
Wow.
So the whole argument about, you know, buildings are not energy efficient, I am calling complete bull on, you know. But point is, my next bill was it was $280 something, you know. And I don't sleep with. All right, I do not sleep with my lights on. I don't sleep with my TV on. You know, if I'm not in any room, the light is off. My AC is kept at 78. So let me tell you, I do everything I am told to do, and my bill came out to almost $300 for a 2-bedroom apartment, newly built.
That's crazy.
You know, and I've been doing this back and forth. You know, I got the disconnect notice. You know. And I found it hilarious how, you know, their answer to dealing with these high payments is to give you more time to pay it off. Oh, you can't pay? Well, let me give you 90 extra days. Yeah. And I'm like, you're not dealing with the real issue. And the real issue is that you guys are bleeding me dry here. Yeah. I don't need
That's
more.
More like a loan shark, man.
Right?
That's what it sounds like.
And the worst part is you are being held at gunpoint by something you supposedly own.
Right.
That's what's really crazy. So I voted yes in the referendum because I didn't think it was the best fix, but I thought it was a fix.
Right.
And actually, let me just point out a few things about the referendum. The referendum didn't start in Tallahassee. It was a local bill. Meaning that someone in Gainesville went to our state rep and asked them to fix this, and above that, the board was actually going to be appointed by members of the city commission. Right. So the city commission appointed the members. The governor had the authority to remove them. That's it. We still would have owned it. The city commission just wouldn't have.
It was still a local effort.
Yep, it still would have been local. The city just wouldn't have had any say in it. But I respect the people's voice in shutting it down. You know, I mean, I get that, but to everyone that I am still talking to, their bills are still a problem. So maybe maybe changing the governance wasn't the answer. I get that. But something has to be done, you know, because your average bill, over half of that is not even you using any power. It's you paying your part of the $1.6 billion in debt.
That's crazy. Which is one of the worst deals in the state of Florida.
You're right.
That's not me saying that. That's a fact. Describe to me. Well, one thing I want to say is, just to kind of paint the picture here and make it more clear. This all is tied together. So if our GRU bills are lower, it helps it with affordable housing. It helps with other things.
You're so right, and that is the key to my message. Right. Is that a huge portion of our problems stem from GRU. Mm-hmm. If we weren't paying so much in those in you know the GRU bailout plan, whatever they have going on there now, the city wouldn't be as expensive.
Right.
And if living in the city isn't that expensive, people are able to save some money to buy a home for their down payment. You know, when you have the choice between paying to keep your lights on or saving to buy a house, you know.
No.
So
you're absolutely right, man.
Really and truly, a large part of our problems stem from GRU.
Yeah. I mean, because again, it's like being held at gunpoint.
You're right.
Are you not gonna pay for your utilities? I mean, come on, man. And so I'm with you on that one, brother. All right. Describe to me your plan for just common sense financial reform at GRU.
So one of the first things that we are gonna have to do is work on GRU's budget. So for the last 4 years, GRU has been running at a deficit with cash on hand. This isn't coming from me. This is coming straight from the actual budget that they brought to City Hall.
Yes, sir.
For the last 4 or 5 fiscal years, this has been a huge problem at GRU. GRU has been spending so much money that actually money from that they are now taking money from their reserves to actually fund their expenses. So one of the first things is, and a huge part of that is the general fund transfer.
Yeah.
So one of the first things.
You to talk about.
Yep. One of the first things we are gonna have to do is we're gonna have to address the general fund transfer, because as GRU brings in less money, the general fund transfer keeps growing.
Yeah.
Which indicates to me that we have a huge problem.
Yeah.
So going into City Hall, I will make it very clear. We will be looking at a new reality.
Wow.
We
definitely need some change up there.
GRU will have to learn to live with less cash on hand. We're gonna have to bring services in line with the money we actually have. With doing our best to not raise rates, to not raise taxes. We're gonna have to freeze rates.
Wow.
That's one thing we're gonna have to do. Everyone will say, well, you can't promise that, yada yada. The thing is, if people can't afford to pay their bills, people are not going to pay them.
Right.
And then you have a whole new problem.
Yeah.
Half of the city is turned off because people can't afford it.
You're absolutely right, man.
So you're going to have to freeze rates. You're going to have to either freeze the general fund transfer or cut it, one or the other. And you're going to have to bring services in line with what we can actually afford.
Hey, I'm with you totally on that one, brother. Again, there definitely has to be some changes there.
There has to be changes.
At this point, it seems like everybody's losing right now. So
you're right.
A very small percentage.
And
but,
the issue,
yeah.
and another issue is that a large part of this stems from the city's their need to spend money to fund new projects. We need something new. We have to be the greatest here. We have to be the greatest there. And the issue is, it comes to a burden to those who can't afford it.
Right.
Minorities, though, blacks here are suffering. We are suffering.
Yeah.
And the same people who have promised to take care of it are the same people who are pushing us deeper down in the hole.
Wow. And I wish I could argue with you there. Let's move on to infrastructure, man, because I know you have some plans there. My kids in the backseat of my car bumping over a pothole all the time. They're yelling at me in the front seat. I know you have specific plans to work with these different government entities. Yeah. So can you take it from there? So fix a lot of the infrastructure around it.
Of course. So primarily when we're looking at the roads, what we have to understand is the roads that are actually owned by the city. Some of them, most of them are fixed. They are fine. Our issues are the county roads and the state roads. To there, what we have to do is the mayor has to go straight to the county commission. We have to go straight to Tallahassee, and we have to get them to pay their fair share.
Right.
The county spends over $1 million a year on other stuff.
Wow.
But their roads here are still struggling. They are. I promise you, on a rainy day, most of these roads look like a shallow kiddie pool.
Right.
It's crazy.
Trust me. Check my tires. You think I'm joking, man? No.
Right, and again, this is costing people a fortune. You know, they have to go get their tires aligned twice a day, every day. You know, shocks replaced. I mean, new tires more than average. Well, more than what is necessary because we have so many potholes.
Right.
This is something that won't be fixed by a law. You know, by any ordinance.
Mm-hmm.
But this has to be taken straight to the county commission, and I feel like that's something that our current mayor and that the current commission has failed to do because we are too busy trying to be this new American city. You know, this shining city on a hill. You can't be shining if people are suffering.
Wow, got the mic right there, man. I want to move on to something I should have asked you at the beginning of this interview here, which is well, first let me say, sounds like fiscal responsibility is you're a big champion of that.
It is.
That's the big thing there. And I'm with you on that one, man. We just did a financial literacy show before you came in here. That's what we do every week. But it sounds to me that everything here in your platform is connected through fiscal responsibility,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is brilliant. What I want to talk to you about, which we kind of talked about a little bit off the air, is the fact that, I haven't mentioned it yet, that this guy's only 20 years old. So tell me a little bit about that, about the kind of flack you catch from being 20, about why that's not a major issue as far as deciding, as far as you being a candidate.
Sure.
Can you just talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so my grandmother, God rest her soul,
Mm-hmm.
had a saying, you know, it's not about the mileage, it's about the knowledge, you know. So
I love that.
right?
Yeah.
She had a whole bunch of sayings like that. But when my dad died, I was 10 years old, you know. My mom, she went deep into mourning, you know. She had to get a second job.
Wow.
So in my house, it ended up just, you know, my older brothers all grew up, they all left. It ended up just being my mom, me, and my youngest brother. And, you know, my mom, she's working two jobs. She can handle everything. So, you know, everything started with me having to help her plan my dad's funeral. And after that, you know, I had to balance our budget. I had to run. I basically ran our household from the time that I was 11 to about a few months ago. I managed, you know, my mom worked the money. I managed everything else.
Wow.
So in a sense, I was kind of like the government. You know, I allocated the money where it needed to be. I made sure that the lights were on. I made sure the phone bill got paid. I made sure the mortgage was paid. The car note was paid. I made sure that our house ran as smoothly as possible. And that is in addition to getting up at 6 a.m. to iron her uniform, you know.
What's up, man?
Getting my younger brother up, getting him to school. I mean, and then coming home doing my homework, helping him with his homework, and then every other club that I was in too.
Yeah.
So when I tell you that my age doesn't represent the amount of experience in life that I have, I cannot stress that enough. I mean, honestly, if you had to gauge me on my age, or on like my emotional age, I would probably be 47 now. I mean, I'm telling you. Man. So age really isn't that big thing to me personally because I understand. I understand those who are struggling because I've been there. You know, I understand the affordable housing problem. I understand the GRU problem because I've lived them elsewhere. You know, these problems are not they're not special to Gainesville.
Understood.
But the policies that are currently in place are only exaggerating the problem. You know, they're not solving the problem.
Well, I think that I agree with you a lot there, man. Is there anything in particular that compelled you to run?
Honestly, I came to Gainesville thinking that I was only going to be here for 4 or 6 years max. You know, I just came for school, but within like my first two months here, I knew this is something that I was gonna stay. You know, this is like no matter if I was in school, out of school. I mean, I actually got a full-time job here because I knew that I wanted to stay here. I changed my address here. I knew that I wanted to stay here. Nice. Gainesville is somewhere that I plan on being for a very long time. Awesome. So it's that desire to stay is why I ran, because I saw too many things wrong. I thought I heard from too many people, you know, I love Gainesville, but I have this problem, or but I can't afford this, or but my Nigeria bills are so high. You know, there are people out there who believe that I have the right solutions for Gainesville. It actually shocks me because again, I am 20, but it's because of them that I'm running. You know, it's because of my neighbors that I'm running. It's because of you, because I want to make sure that at the end of the day, we're all starting on the same page. We're all on the same platform. Whatever happens after that's on you. But I'm running to bring government back to its core function, you know. Nice. And that core function isn't to create the newest thing, you know. The core function is to make sure that everyone is healthy, safe, and has the opportunities that they need to survive, to thrive. That's why I am running.
I love that, man. Well, and there's nothing like that youthful passion that I mean, as parent, anybody listening to this interview can hear the passion in your voice, man. So I think that's a big benefit there. All right, man. I really want to wish you luck on your campaign. Is there anything you'd like to say to the people before we get out of here? You got the floor.
Sure, yeah.
You got the floor, man.
Early voting starts today, you know, March 9th. There are a few centers that will allow. One of them is on the U of campus at Rights Union. Nice. You can go online to the supervisor's site. Actual voting day is March 19th. I mean, honestly and truly, everyone, to everyone who is listening, you know, this is my passion, you know. If I win or lose, I'm not going anywhere, you know. I will be back here again at it, because at the end of the day, the mission is to get everyone the opportunities that God gave them, you know, that God promised us. You know, that's our thing. We have to make sure that we as a people are taking care of one another, and above all, that government is working for us. Because without that, what is the point? You know, if we're giving every cent that we are earning to government, what's the point of anything? You know, we have to make sure that Gainesville is a place where people not only want to come, but where they want to stay. We have to cater to those coming in, yes, but also those who are already here, those who have been born here, those who have set up their whole life here. Wow. You know, I'm running because we're forgetting those who can't make it to this new American city. You know, minorities, the working poor, people like everyday people. We are forgetting them. We're leaving them behind. And if we don't stop now, if we don't change now, we will be in for a huge reckoning in 10, 15 years. So that's why I'm running. You know, to save Gainesville from its current future, to make sure that everyone has a chance.
Very impressive, man. Very impressive, man. I want to thank you on behalf of the community, man, just for running and for your public service. I mean, I just want to, like I say, really give you your props there. Also, you just mentioned, man, Election Day is on March 19th. Early voting starts today from today, March 9th, until March 16th at different locations. Like you just mentioned, there's one right on U of campus. I'm pretty sure there's a few public libraries.
Yep.
Also, if you can even track your ballot. Your ballot online at votealachua.com. I want to shout out Ms. Kim Barton for the job she's doing over there, because she's really holding it down.
She is, you know.
As a supervisor election, yeah, she's doing her thing over there. My preferred method as far as voting is early voting. I mean, not early voting, but voting by mail. Mm-hmm. Just because you can take your time, sit at the dinner table, you know, and do your research on each candidate. That's just my personal thing. But again, the what's paramount is that you go vote. So make sure you use any of these different methods to go vote. Again, you can vote on election day. You can vote by mail, or you can vote early, man. And for all the different locations, just go on votealachua.com, and it'll let you know everywhere you can vote. You can even track your ballot on it, like I just said, man. So again, man, thanks again, Mr. Bruce.
Thank you for having me.
Marlon Bruce in the building, you guys. Mayoral candidate, and I want to wish you luck on your campaign.
Thank you so much,
man. Anytime you have anything that you feel is pertinent to the community you want to talk about, man, you got a home up here at WBT. Just come through and let us know, man. And we'll definitely get you on, man. And, you know, that's a win or lose.
This was amazing fun, guys. Thank you so much.
Man. That's why y'all keep it locked right here at WBT 90.1 from the beach. Boy, Jerk Jerkins right here on the Jerk Jerkins Show, man. Mr. Marlon Bruce, y'all.
Thanks, guys.
Just like that, bro.
That was
over.
Wow. Okay.
Let me get these commercials popping real quick. Man, don't forget those. And I think that's right there. I gotta do it. Get a few songs in here. Give me 1 second, brother.
You're all good, man. Wait, so you run the whole show by yourself?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
That's really cool.